Today we're making this delicious Cowboy Caviar. Hi, I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats and welcome to my channel. Today we're whipping up this delicious, easy, and healthy Cowboy Caviar. It's also called redneck caviar sometimes, but this one is so good. It's completely filled with beans and veggies. It's super healthy. I know a lot of people are working on what they're eating because we're coming into the new year, and this is a great appetizer to bring to New Year's Eve parties or like a salad to have for New Year's Day. This recipe has black-eyed peas in it, which is super fun for the new year. They're known to bring in good luck and also financial prosperity for the new year, especially in the South. So I think we can all use a little bit of that. This recipe also is no cooking, which is great for after Thanksgiving and Christmas because we're all tired. We're not cooking anything, we are just chopping it all up and throwing it into a bowl. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do for this recipe is drain our peas, our corn, and our beans. So we're gonna be using black-eyed peas, like I mentioned. We also have a can of black beans, and then I'm using a Mexican style street corn. You could use a Southwest corn, anything that has like a little bit extra flavor I like for this recipe. What we wanna do is just give these a really good rinse, get all of that extra syrup off of, especially on the black beans and the black-eyed peas. And then we're just gonna dry these. We don't want a whole lot of extra water in the mixture. While we let those beans, peas, and corn strain, we are gonna chop up a ton of veggies. I'm gonna get started with a couple limes. The reason why I'm using 2 here is because they are like absolutely tiny. You really just need 1 large lime, but you wanna just slice these in half. These are gonna be used for the sauce that we're gonna make. It's gonna have like olive oil, vinegar, and then some spices in it, which makes it so yummy. We also have 2 Roma tomatoes. You wanna slice these, remove all the seeds, and then you're just gonna dice them up really small. They don't need to be minced necessarily, but just make sure to dice them nice and small. Also, when you're chopping up a ton of veggies like this, it's really helpful just to leave a little bowl on the side just to put like the scraps in. Especially with this one, we're gonna have a lot of seeds and things, so we can just throw everything in there. If I'm chopping up tomatoes, I'm always using a bowl. I don't love tomatoes. It's so bad to say that because I'm like a food blogger, but I like having salsa, things like that that are marinated, but I don't love like plain tomatoes. So I have to make sure I get those seeds out. We also have 1 red bell pepper that we're gonna slice up. You can use green if you want here, or yellow or orange. Any of your favorites are fine. I like the color of the red and the sweetness, so I'm going with that. We also have a red onion. I like this for like that pungent taste. It brings in a lot of flavor. We're just using 1/4 cup. And you want that nice and diced as well. Just to save like a lot of confusion on the cutting board, once you're done cutting a veggie, you can just transfer it right into the serving bowl. Does anybody have any New Year's resolutions they're working on? I always have a bunch. I really like New Year's. I think it's fun. It's like a fresh start. It's a good time to get organized. I'm definitely working on that this week. Especially like for food bloggers, we're so busy in November and December that a lot of things just kind of get like thrown under the rug. I definitely have some organizing to do. I have lots of camera footage that I need to clear out in my phone. I also have some fitness goals that I want to work towards. I started working out a couple of days a week at least, like maybe a couple months ago. So at least I have a little bit of a jump on that. So let me know in the comments though if there's anything that you guys are working towards. I love hearing it. We've got some jalapeno for heat, of course. Make sure to remove all those seeds and membranes, especially if you don't like really spicy. Then we've got an avocado. We are going to cut this in half, remove the pit. I like to just use a knife just to slice it up, and then I'll just scoop it right out. And finally, the last thing we need to chop up is some cilantro. When you're chopping the cilantro, make sure to give it a good rinse before. Cilantro loves to have a little bit of sand and dirt in it, so it's really important to get it nice and clean before you cut it. I love fresh cilantro. If you're one of those people that think it tastes like soap, you can definitely cut it in half or just leave it out entirely. It's no big deal, but if you like cilantro, make sure to put it in there because it adds a lot of freshness. Also a cooking tip, or just like to preserve your produce, when you get your cilantro from the store, instead of leaving it in the bag, I don't rinse it or anything, but I just take it and just like roll it up into a paper towel. And I definitely notice that it stays fresh longer. I know some people like put it in the mason jar and have it in water, but I just don't have room in the fridge for that. So I just do this. It definitely keeps it fresh longer. I wanted to mention too, this recipe can be prepped ahead. Just wait on the avocado until like right before serving to add it because we don't want it getting brown. The lime juice definitely helps a little bit, but I would wait to just make it look really fresh. Just add the avocado right over the top if you're gonna wait to serve it. You can even make this like a day ahead and just stick it right in the fridge. Okay, so we officially have all of our veggies in our serving bowl and all chopped up. We are gonna go back to our beans, peas, and corn. And I like to just give it a final shake just to make sure all that water's out. And then we're just gonna add it right into the mix. The beans, peas, and corn's added. Bees, I can't talk today. Once we get those beans, peas, and corn added, you're gonna give this a really good toss just to mix all those ingredients up. And next we're gonna make our sauce, which is one of my favorite parts. It's super good. We're using a bunch of cumin, which just makes it like so yummy. It's like that Tex-Mex flavor. You could also add some hot sauce to this if you want it even spicier. We do have jalapeno, but we can definitely go with hot sauce too. Next up, we're doing our limes. So we're gonna squeeze in our lime juice. Like I said, I'm using 2 small ones because I didn't have a big one at home. So you can either use 2 really small limes or just 1 large lime. I like this little thing because I don't like it when the limes have a lot of seeds in it, but I like it when they don't because it gets way more juice out than that little press thing. And I really like this nice and limey. Next, we're adding a little bit more acidity with 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. We have 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Then we're using 2 teaspoons of sugar, just granulated sugar, and we're using 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. We also have some salt and pepper in here. So just go ahead and just sprinkle that all on top, and then we're gonna give this a good stir again. And I like to let this sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes before I actually serve it, just to let all those flavors marinate. Plus the sugar will kind of break down. You don't want to have it when it's gritty and it's gonna break down in the fridge. You can see how much this makes. Like, it's a huge portion and it really does make a great salad. If you want to serve it in salad form instead of an appetizer, you could always add some of those little like Southwest like tortilla strips on top too, just to like top it off. Then you got a little bit of crunch without the regular dipping chips. Okay, so we're gonna cover this with some saran wrap or plastic wrap, and then we're gonna stick it in the fridge for 30 minutes before we serve it. After 30 minutes, you can uncover it and it is time to eat. I like to serve it with some tortilla chips. These late July ones are really good. Sea salt dippers. They're organic, non-GMO, super yummy. And I like them, or you can use scoops because you can like scoop. This is one of those ones where you want to get as much as possible on your chip. So go for it. This is so good. It's super fresh and delicious. You guys are gonna love this one. That's it, we're all done with this easy recipe. I hope you guys love this one. It is no cooking involved, which is always a favorite. I hope everyone has a happy new year. Thanks so much for watching. I'm very excited about the upcoming year, and I hope you guys decide to subscribe and make sure to like this video for new recipes every single week. I love sharing them with you. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.